Now, actress Tamzin Outhwaite has opened up about splitting up from her boyfriend Tom earlier this year, saying, maybe before now I've been single but not happy. Being single and happy is a really lovely place to be, and that can only happen with life experience. Do you agree, Judi?
Ooh, straight to me, single.
Straight to you, straight to you. You're a love expert.
Yeah, I think this stage of my life, you know, I definitely, I think I'm at the most... I call it, actually, because I write a lot, I journal a lot, and I was writing this piece, and I called it Being Single in Power.
I like that.
I feel like I'm single in power in all of my different...
What does that mean?
Well, I'm in a different place emotionally, financially, like mentally, you know, spiritually. I just feel like I'm in such a different place than I was 10 years ago, 4 years ago, and I think this is my most powerful time. So I think when I've been single before, I've probably made decisions about relationships that I wouldn't necessarily make now. And I think, you know, since my previous relationship, I'm now at a place that everything I gave to that relationship, I'm now going to give that back to myself. So I'm dating, but I class it as I'm dating myself.
Yes.
You know, I love male company. I'm good to go out on dates and, you know, have that kind of vibe. But I'm actually in such a peaceful place that I'm good, I'm OK. And I think to myself, everybody wants companionship, but for me, at what expense? It's not going to be losing my peace.
Well, you can be very lonely in a relationship.
Exactly.
Well.
And I'm not willing to, like, compromise. There's always balance. I'm not willing to compromise. I know what I want, I know my worth, and I don't want your crumbs. So...
Everything from the earliest age, isn't it, set up to be that happiness comes through coupledom. I mean, there's such a lot of pressure to lead you that way. And, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, Grace, but I think certainly when I was younger, I did make that association that, you know, you're going to be really happy when you meet the one.
Yeah, I'm an awful example of this because when my girlfriend goes to the toilet, I'll follow her. Like, I can't
My dog does that with me.
Yeah, I'm the dog. I just can't be without her. It's an issue. But I feel like when I was single, I feel like it's easier maybe when you're younger because your friends don't have families, they're not married, you can just go out.
It's not expected that you necessarily...
you can just go clubbing for 8 days. There's no...
And you're right,
8 days on the trot, and that's not really frowned upon, but maybe when you're a bit older, it is a little bit.
So and everyone's coupled up when you're usually a bit older.
I would be forcing all my friends to get divorces if I got divorced. I'd be like, I'm not going through this on my own. So I think...
Have you been single for sort of an extended period?
4 years.
All right, OK.
Did you hear that?
4 years.
It is possible.
Yeah.
And I did do that.
And did you feel happy, or were you sort of...
I had a great time.
All right.
At the time, yeah, I had a great time. But now, that's like my worst nightmare.
But so do you think you're codependent, but only because you're so happy in this particular relationship?
Yeah, like with people that I've been with before, I would have loved it if they went on holiday for a year.
Yeah.
And never came back. But, yeah, with this one, even 5 minutes, I'm getting, like, the shakes.
Really?
Oh, you're loved up, aren't you?
It's disgusting. And
Yeah. She's in today. She's just run out.
Here we go.
She's up on holiday for a year.
Yeah. I think I've never... Well, right, so first of all, I've got friends all of my age, maybe a little bit younger, and they're in 2 camps. So I've got one of my best friends who really got to me the other day because she's loving being a grandma and she's looking after the kids and everything, and that's all fine. She's been single a long time. She said to me, I just feel I'm nobody's number one. Oh. And she said... You know, because when your kids are young, you're their number one until you're not. You know, it doesn't mean that they don't love you. It's just that they don't need you as much.
But you can be in a couple and still not be
the
other one's number one.
You absolutely can. But then I've got other friends who have absolutely zero desire to meet anyone or even to date. You know, so it very much depends. I am in a very, very happy relationship, and later in life, I feel really, really grateful, and I'm never not grateful to have found this love in my life. So
have you ever been
imagine
single?
it. I have had... Considering the answer is no, I've managed to tot up quite a few.
When was the last time you were single?
I haven't been single. I had to write this down because I couldn't remember. Please don't fall asleep. Stay with us, audience. At 14, so I was single until I was 14.
Right.
14, I was with Simon, who was the vicar's son, right? Then he finished with me. Big mistake, because I got off with his best friend. So he then wanted me back, but I was already with Rob, who I got engaged to, who's Chris Taylor from Love Island's dad, right? Hiya, Rob. And I was with Rob. then we were at sort of college separately, little crossovers. Then I met the guy that became my first husband. Big mistake, huge. Then I got off with Sid at the end of that relationship, who was a Texan millionaire. That went wrong, but my mother kept saying, just give it another try. Then there was a crossover of him when he went back to Tulsa.
I'm really interested in these crossovers.
He was an actor. Robert was an actor.
So you
then
went to
at
Rob?
The end of that, then I was with Rob and I lived with him for 3 years. Then there was a little crossover into my boy's dad, Tim.
OK.
Then I was with him for 24 years.
Yeah.
And then we had agreed to separate, but the press didn't know that. So then there was a little crossover into
your Lincoln.
In all of that, and you look back on that now, do you wish there had been a period that you had been single, that you had taken the time, like Judi...
To be officially
single. To be, you know, single in power.
Single in power, yeah.
Wrongly live a single life a bit sometimes within those confines. But taking that out of it, I also, I think, because of the nature of my profession as an actress, I was away from home a lot.
Yeah.
So I was able to go out with the girls and do sort of single things. But I do think, in my mind, I'm very independent, but I think I am much more codependent and I've had to sort of admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really am. I love my own company and I love spending periods of time on my own. But I like to know that Lincoln's coming home to make me tea.
Well, and you're right. Look, relationships can be great. You just got to make sure it's the right person and find your two kind of relationship. And look, you went through them, and then Lincoln is your one, and I think it works. So yeah, it's all about your individual self.